Brothers and sisters, what is your first impression when you hear a word Pentecost? I remember from my Greek lessons in the seminary that it means 50th. It refers to the solemnity celebrated on the 50th day after Easter. Pentecost is regarded as the birth of our Catholic Church. But how is our past and present life connected to that great day? When I was thinking about today's solemnity, it came to my mind a day of my baptism. Of course, I wasn't aware what was happening on that day 50 years ago because I was a baby. Unfortunately, I don't have any photographs showing me receiving the first sacrament of the Church. However, I can imagine smiling faces of my parents, godparents, and other family members gathered around a baptismal font. Many times while I was growing up, I observed that strange-looking piece of art called in Latin baptisterium in my parish church. Dear friends, the day of baptism was, for you and me, the first touch of the Holy Spirit in our lives. Personally, I am very grateful to my parents and godparents for their act of faith expressed on my behalf and for allowing me to begin my Christian journey in the power of the Holy Spirit within a week of my birth. Also, when I hear the word Pentecost, I'm thinking about my confirmation day, when I received the fullness of God's Spirit. I remember the enthusiasm I had in my heart to share the faith with friends of mine at school and in a playground. With the word Pentecost, many beautiful memories come to my mind when I physically felt a reality Jesus was talking about in the Gospel. If any man is thirsty, let him come to me. Let the man come and drink who believes in me. As Scripture says, from his breast shall flow fountains of living water. On this Pentecost Sunday, I'm also thinking about a theme I chose for my ordination. Jesus is the Lord. It came from St. Paul's words, from his first letter to the Corinthians. No one can say Jesus is the Lord unless he is under the influence of the Holy Spirit. This beautiful day reminds me about my prayer time, when the Spirit himself expresses my plea in a way that could never be put into words. Pentecost takes me back to my ordination to the priesthood when the power of the Holy Spirit came upon me on the 24th of May 1997. On that day, a fear of an unknown future completely disappeared from my mind. It was the feast of Our Lady Help of Christians. Pentecost reminds me to thank Mother Mary for her protection extended over me. She, who is full of the Holy Spirit, helps me to say yes to God's word daily. Brothers and sisters, the story of Pentecost comes from the Acts of the Apostles. The disciples of Jesus were gathered together, locked in an upper room out of fear of the Jewish leaders. Suddenly, the power of the Holy Spirit came upon them. I think if I have lived in the Holy Land 2,000 years ago and had a chance to ask the apostles about their memories of that day, they would have said it was a completely unexpected experience. The Holy Spirit totally changed their lives. That event transformed their way of thinking and acting. They came from the fear of the Jews to the spiritual courage which enabled them to proclaim Jesus' message even to their enemies. Their lives took on a new meaning from that moment. Today, I invite you to spend some time on your own asking yourself the following questions. What comes to my mind on this Pentecost Sunday? How do I experience in my life the gifts of the Holy Spirit and His power? What are the fruits of the Holy Spirit in my life? Brothers and sisters, let us ask the Holy Spirit to kindle in us the fire of God's love once again. May we always accept the power of the Holy Spirit within us that will help us to be courageous witnesses of God's presence in our lives. The strength of the Holy Spirit will help us to defend our faith in front of all those who stand in opposition to God and our one holy, Catholic and Apostolic Church.